Welcome back to the Legacy Podcast. My name is Olisya Grant, co-founder of The Matrix Legacy. We are back for episode number 15. This is a show where we create a blueprint for success, we look for ways to create generational wealth, and we break those chains of a poverty mindset. Now, I've got a good one for y'all today. So, first things first, I have a major announcement. Actually, two major announcements. But on top of that, what I really wanted to do with this episode is we usually talk a lot about mindset. I want to give some really tangible ways to create more income in your life immediately, because a lot of us are in a position where, we're coming out of this pandemic. There's a lot of places of uncertainty. And the main stressor, the main concern that most people have is how do I need to pay for things. I need to get more money. Money really just means options. And so what I want to do is I want to share the different streams of income that I've been able to create. So maybe those can help you along as you look to create income in your own life. In school, they only teach us about one way to make money, and that's to go to work, do that 9 to 5, but they don't let you know that there's so many other ways to do it. So first things first, let's get to the great news. Now, back in January, I actually wrote it on my calendar that by June 8th, I wanted to leave my job. Now, I worked as a human resources generalist for a big corporation. It was a fantastic job. Had the company car, the office, the flexibility. Great job. However, it wasn't necessarily what I loved to do. And what I was finding in that job is that I had to cram in time for my family and cram in time for the things that I love. I love talking about wealth. I love helping people get to their financial goals and their lifestyle goals. And I was finding that I had to squish those things into little pockets of time, and they weren't getting the energy that I really wanted to give them. And so that's kind of why I started thinking, all right, how by June can I find a way to walk off of my job? Now, I manifested that back in January, and fast forward to today, I have actually quit my 9 to 5, and I am now a full-time entrepreneur. So don't get it twisted. I've jumped out of the plane, but the parachute is not open yet. So I'm still working through some things, and I'm really excited to bring you guys along on this journey with me. But what I really want to touch on is the fact that there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a job, a 9 to 5. I had a great one. I was able to do a lot of things with that job, a lot of growth in myself. But what really pushed me was I had a conversation with my boss, and I asked him, what is it that you need to see from me in order for me to get a raise? You keep telling me what a great job I'm doing. You keep telling me what a fantastic addition I am to the team. What kind of work do you need to see from me in order for me to get a raise in my income? Because the things that I want to do are going to require a little bit more money than what I'm making right now. His answer to me was, there's literally nothing you can do. You've got to just wait till your review period. And at that time, we'll give you anywhere from a 3 to 5% raise. And I said to him, okay, 3 to 5%, that's more than what I've heard my friends and family saying that they're eligible for. However, what if I can find a way to create 20% value? What if I can bring some more money into the company, or develop some more employees, or create a system that just makes everything more efficient? Like, what does that look like? And he said, well, the structure is the way it is. You just got to wait. We do a review, 3 to 5%. That's what it is. And so I started thinking, well, in my little side hustle businesses, I get compensated for the results that I produce, for the value that I bring. But in this instance, you're basically telling me that I can only get paid for the time that I'm spending here. And something about that just didn't sit well with me, because I knew I had big dreams, big plans, and knowing that it didn't matter how much value I added, you only care about my time, something about that just didn't sit well with me. Now, on top of that, with all that's happening in the world, things happen in life that really made me realize that time is of the essence. And if I'm in a position where I'm uncomfortable, or I know that I have so much more value to give than what I'm currently able to provide, that I don't want to waste years and years and years of my life doing something that's only going to pay the bills. I believe that you don't necessarily need to be an entrepreneur. You don't necessarily need to be, hustling every second of the day, but you do need to live full. And all of our definitions of living full are going to be different, but mine is being able to spend every minute of my day adding value somewhere, helping somebody, being a better version of myself. Those are the things that I want to be focusing on. And I felt every time I was going into my workplace, I had to shrink down who I was, because the people that I was working with, incredibly hard workers, but their main focus was just work and just providing for their family. There was nothing else, no farther ambition. Everything was very corporate, and I felt like I had to shrink myself into that same mold in order to find success. And I'm just not a person who can be shrunk. I gotta be let loose. And so I knew I had to make a move. So I took the jump. But the reason I was able to take the jump is because I spent 2.5, almost 3 solid years of putting in thousands and thousands of dollars in investing in myself, hundreds of hours in developing and growing my mindset and understanding how business works, understanding how relationships work, understanding how my emotions work. So I was in a position where I knew enough to actually take that jump. And so by no means am I saying just quit your job and things will work out. You actually have to put in the work and build towards it if leaving your job is something that you want to do. But even if it's not, if there's certain lifestyle goals that you want to reach, one stream of income is not going to be able to cut it for you. And I realized this in my human resources role because there was a lot of people who had given their absolute everything and beyond to the company. But when that pandemic hit, it doesn't matter how many connections you made. It doesn't matter how much work you had to do. The business has an agenda. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't in a position where somebody could tell me that I no longer had a job. And so what I want to do right now is just share with you guys the different streams of income that I was able to create. One, to secure myself in this time of pandemic, in this crazy time in the world, but also beyond that are able to support the lifestyle that I want to live, that my husband wants to live, that I want my family to live. So I'm going to share with you 4 different streams of income that I've been able to create for myself. And hopefully you're able to build on these and apply it to what you have going on in your own life, on your own journey to creating financial freedom or financial options. Remember that money simply means options. So if you're of that mentality right now that is saying wanting more money is greedy, or you don't feel like you deserve more, money just means you have the options to do more. If you want to donate to a charity, you have the money to do that. If you want to retire your mother, you have the money to do that. You want to travel the world, you want to start a business, it doesn't matter what you want to do. If you have the financial resources, then now you have the option to actually pursue those things. So the first stream of income that we were able to create, and this is what we all learn about in school, is earned income. So what this means is you go in, so this is what we make on our traditional jobs. You go in and you're basically told, here's what you will be paid for this amount of time. Now, my earned income was coming from my human resources position. Now my earned income going into this full-time entrepreneurship state is the income that I generate from my wealth coaching. So I'm able to teach people how to create a financial foundation for themselves when it comes to expenses, when it comes to income, when it comes to growing their savings. And so I'm able to trade my time in order to be compensated a certain dollar amount. This is what we're used to. This is what they teach us in school. Why do they teach us about this in school? Only because the schools are aligned with these big corporations, and these big corporations need incredible people in order to run and push their businesses. So the corporations help fund the schooling that trains people how to help them reach their own business goals. And so this is why this is the only type of income that they teach us about, is that trading your time for money. Now, there's the only problem with this is that since that's the only stream of income that they teach us about, this is usually the only type of income that people rely on. And if that's the only stream of income that you rely on, which is your earned income, clocking in, clocking out, maybe getting some commissions, what happens if you get sick? What happens if a pandemic hits and you lose your job? Now that one stream of income that you relied on is shriveled up, and now what are you going to do? Because that's the only type of income that you had. So in order to protect yourself, and how you create generational wealth and how you create that flexibility, those options in your life, is to create other streams of income outside of just that earned income. The second type of income that I was able to create for myself was interest income. Now, interest income can be created using your earned income. So what I did is when I would get my paycheck from work, I would then invest it in the company's profit sharing, or I would go and invest it in the stock market or high interest savings account. It's places where you can place your money where it's going to grow. And the reason that your money grows is, let me give you an example. In Canada, we have these accounts called GIC accounts, guaranteed investment certificates. Now, what that means is if you put a certain amount of money in the bank, let's say $1,000, you put it in for, let's say, 1 year. At the end of 1 year, the bank will say, at this point, we will give you your entire $1,000 back plus, let's say, $250 in interest. The reason the banks are able to do this is because they took your initial investment and they went and invested it elsewhere, turned your $1,000 into, let's say, $10,000, and then they gave you a little bit on top just so you could be happy knowing that you put your money in a high interest savings account or you put your money in a place where it could grow. Now, a little is better than nothing, so I'm not knocking that at all, but there's tons of ways where you can place your money into certain vehicles where it can grow, and that's usually the part that we miss out on. We're told to save, but we're not told that you can actually grow your savings. So investing in the stock market, investing in your company's profit sharing, things like that are how you create interest income, and that's another income stream that I created for myself. The third income stream is called profit income. Now, this is usually a traditional business model because what businesses do is they purchase their supplies at a discounted rate because they're buying in bulk, and then they go ahead and they sell us, the consumers, their products, and they get to keep the profit. So this can be broken down even simpler. If you go and you have a garage sale, or in today's age, a virtual garage sale, and you hop on eBay or Kijiji or wherever and you sell something for more than what you bought it for, that's how you make profit income. So for example, I was able to get my first car through an auction, and I only paid $3,500 for my car. It was the Honda Accord 2008. I absolutely loved that car. But when it came time to sell it, I was actually able to sell it for $5,000. So the difference there is called your profit income. So you can also create profit income for yourself. Let's say if you are to start a business, let's say you're to get into drop shipping, or let's say you start a makeup line or a hair line or whatever, any business where you're able to purchase the materials and then redistribute it. You add your own value, you add your customer service or your whatever to it. You sell it at a higher price than what you purchased it for. Now you've created profit income for yourself. Profit income is definitely another way that you can create another stream of income in your life. That's how we created one in ours. And then the fourth stream of income that I want to talk about, and this is my favorite. This one is called residual income. Now, residual income is the most beautiful source of income you will ever receive, and I will tell you why. Residual income means that you do the work one time and you get paid repeatedly. For example, if you write a book, you wrote the book one time. You stayed up those late nights, you did the work, you put it together one time. But now wherever you post it, even years down the line, you're still going to be able to make income every single time someone purchases the book, but you only did the work once. If you purchase a home and you rent out a room to tenants, then you've created residual income for yourself because you purchased the home one time, but every single month your tenant is going to pay you in the form of rent. If you go ahead and start a podcast like this one, or if you create an informational webinar where you're able to sell something in that webinar and you just post it somewhere, every time somebody watches the webinar and makes a purchase, you get paid. Network marketing is a phenomenal place to start. If you have no idea how to create residual income, this is where I learned about it, through the network marketing industry, because their business model is set up where you can do the work one time and get paid over and over. All of these mega service provider companies have figured out this system. Take a look at your cell phone company, for example. They set up their towers once. They wrote a contract for you one time, but every single month now you are paying that cell phone bill, and they don't have to do anything else because they've mastered that residual income. Sure, they might have to do some maintenance and customer service, things like that, but they built the system once and they get paid over and over. So however you can find a way to create residual income for yourself, I would advise it, because this is one of the ways that this is a powerful way to create generational wealth, and also a powerful way to have something to outlast you. If you were to pass away, God forbid, at least you have something that's still generating income for your family and for those generations to come after you. So that's definitely something to think about. Now, learning about these, I mean, there's definitely a ton more. These are the top 4 that my husband and I have used to create the option for ourselves to be able to walk away from our 9 to 5, because that's what we felt. If you don't want to walk away from your 9 to 5, it's still important to have other streams of income, because if something happens in that 9 to 5 or something happens to you, you need to make sure that you are still set. One stream of income is not going to do it. And if this pandemic hasn't shown you that, I am not sure what else has to happen before you figure that out. But you got to find a way to take your earned income and flip it into multiple different streams of income and have your money work for you. So that being said, I'm very excited because my husband and I have actually created a resource that people can learn more about income streams and learn more just about financial literacy and how to build wealth in their lives. And we're having a mega launch party for this at the end of this month. So if you click the link in the description box here, it'll take you to our website where you're going to be able to register. And what we're going to do is, in the first section, we're going to have like a masterclass where we're actually going to break down all of the different types of income. I've only broken down 4 for you here, and I did it very quickly. But in this masterclass, we're going to break down 8 or more different types of income that you can use and create in your life right now. And then beyond that, we're going to be releasing this free resource that we've been working on for months now. It's a way that you're going to be able to stay on track to reaching your financial goals. And it's going to be a way, that we can stay connected and we can really, truly build this legacy together. So those are the 2 major announcements. I was able to quit my 9 to 5, and it's because of the different income streams that I've developed. And we've now created a resource to help other people learn how to do exactly what we've done, if you so choose. Now, it's not everybody's goal to be an entrepreneur, to leave their 9 to 5. I'm not suggesting that anybody does that. What I am suggesting is that you secure the lifestyle that you want and the lifestyle that you know your family and generations after you deserve by creating multiple income streams and options for yourself. So the building block for the day is you need multiple streams of income. That's the only way to build wealth. And the options that I've given you today are things that you can use right away. You can hop on the phone with your banker and find a high interest savings account, or you can look around your house and go ahead and sell some of the clothes that you haven't worn in a year, etc., etc. But you're going to want to take action right away, because the sooner you start, the sooner you're able to start creating wealth, and the sooner you get to that lifestyle that you desire and that you're hoping for. So that's all I've got for this week, guys. If this helped anybody, go ahead and share this with a friend. Like, comment, subscribe. This helps more people receive the same message. I will be here next week with another building block for success. Until next time, let's build a legacy.